Amongst all the weapons a narcissist uses to destroy you, religion is their most favorite one. They love religion. Why, you may ask? Well, for obvious reasons. They use it as a free pass every single time to avoid getting caught. They use it as a shield to hide behind. They also put it on as a mask to make everybody think that they are good and godly. Like everything else, a narcissist heavily uses religious philosophies to justify their abusive behavior. Let's talk about this further in today's episode. I am Danish, a psychologist and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why a narcissist loves religion. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to learn more, please make sure to subscribe, because your subscription may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Here is a small disclaimer before we get started. My intention behind creating this episode is not to target any particular religion. Narcissists treat all religions alike. In fact, they do not follow any religion as it is. They create a personal version of it to justify their existence, which is what we are going to talk more about in the later part of this episode. Number 1, they use religion as a shield. Against what? Against their own evil self. They know deep down they're rotten. They're everything but what God stands for. There is no divine element found in them because they have already given up on it by continuously and repeatedly hurting people. However, they have to self-gaslight. And what is the best tool for them to do so? Religion. They twist all the definitions, all the explanations, and everything that a particular religion says to justify who they are, to make their wishes as God's commands. Whenever an opportunity arises for them to introspect, they self-gaslight through religion. They justify their abusive behaviors on the basis of what religion wants them to do, what God commands them to do. And when they say so, everything is nullified. You become the crazy one, you are the ungodly one, and you are going against the religious text they follow. Let's take the example of stereotypical roles men and women are supposed to play according to Abrahamic religions. Men in most Abrahamic religions is supposed to be a provider, and a woman is supposed to stay at home. I'm not talking about whether it is wrong or right, this is how it is. So, what a narcissist does is that they create their own definition of what it means to be a provider. To a narcissist, being a provider means to go out, earn money, and feed their family. That's it, nothing beyond that. When, in my opinion, being a provider also means providing emotional satisfaction to your spouse, providing care, providing empathy, providing a safe haven to your children so that they do not feel like they are living with a monster, providing softness, calmness, acceptance, and understanding. That is not what you would find in a narcissist dictionary. If I were to argue with a narcissist who claims to be a provider, they would say, you are ungodly. That's not what God says. God wants you to provide, which simply means you have to go out and earn. But he does not talk about how you should treat your family. The point that I'm trying to make here is a narcissist takes a particular concept from their religion and then changes it only to justify what they are doing, and then they call it godly. That's what God wants them to do, which is what I meant by saying a narcissist uses their religion as a shield. Number 2, when following their religion, a narcissist becomes their personal god. Don't you think this narcissist who is wearing a cap, praying 5 times if they're a Muslim, or if they're a Christian, by going to church, they become a perfect religious, pious person? Of course not. They do not know the God they claim to be worshipping. They create their own personal version of it. The virgin that is blind, totally blind to their wrongdoings, has all the justifications for their behaviors and is only concerned about punishing others, particularly those who harm the narcissist. This God of theirs is against everybody except the narcissist, who is the main culprit. Essentially, the God they worship is nothing but an extension of their false self. It's also everything that their parent was not, unconditionally enabling all, accepting the one who listens to only one person in this entire universe, and that is the narcissist, irrespective of whether they are right or wrong. The one who is all forgiving but only to the narcissist, and who punishes everybody, tortures everybody who wrongs the narcissist. So when a narcissist tells you, oh, God doesn't want you to do that, that's unholy. Divorce, come on, it's ungodly, you can't do that. What they're actually telling you is, I don't want you to do that. Divorce may be frowned upon, but it's okay to set yourself free if you are getting abused continuously. However, I am reframing the definition of what is allowed and not allowed, and what is permissible and not permissible, because it lets me have what I want to have, which is unlimited access to you. It enables me to guilt trip you to thinking that you are committing a major sin by divorcing me, by thinking of leaving me. It's not God who is telling you what to do or what not to do. It's me, my false self. Number three, this one is easy to understand. By becoming religious and spiritual, a narcissist is able to garner collective supply, collective fuel, and fool people into thinking that they are a pious person. They may have a criminalistic history, they may have committed heinous crimes, but now that they appear religious, they have a beard, they're wearing a cap, or they're wearing a cross, or they have a dot in the center of their head, all of a sudden they're a guru, and their past is now totally clean. It's a blank slate. They act like they have done nothing wrong. What they're actually doing is they're putting on this mask to fool people, to cast an illusion of being a perfect human being who knows what you do not know, and who are here to connect you with God. A lot of religious teachers, religious gurus are like this. They're essentially narcissists abusing masses. The second aspect of the same thing is they steal people of their money. By becoming a religious guru, they offer solutions that we mere mortals do not know or have. And we have all the problems, so we go to them. And they are quite peaceful, calmly seated, and telling us this is the solution. Then they might give us the stupidest suggestion ever, but because they're religious, they are godly, they are receiving all the messages from the spirit itself, how can they be wrong? This is how they loot people. This is how they dramatically weaponize religion to con people, to become ultra super rich without doing anything at all. Number four, religion gives them an opportunity to become a teacher, but they become a malicious teacher whose purpose is only to prove other people wrong and to tell them what to do, what not to do. They don't care about what you feel, they only go by the book. They're masters at quoting verses and then justifying their explanations. You will feel their explanations are quite empty. And if you were to raise a concern, they'll say, oh, it's not mine, that's what God wants you to do. Accept it or reject it, it's on you. But what about the emotional aspect of it? What about the depth that should be there in relation to all these topics that are connected, that connect us to the divine? There should be soul to it. Where is that? I don't know about it. I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. By becoming a religious teacher, they get a stage to scream and yell at people. They get a license to be who they are within, which is a horrible person. They tell people off very clearly. They treat people very negatively. And when held accountable, they'll say, nope, I was only trying to show you the right way. I was trying to connect with you with God. My approach might have been harsh, but it was all for you. You can take it or leave it. It's not for me, it's for you, it's for the day of judgment, it's for what you will get there. You will have to be answerable to God, and I was only trying to help, nothing more, nothing less. What will you respond to that? Of course, you'll feel guilty. They control you through fear. There is no concept such as love when it comes to divinity coming out from a narcissist's mouth. Number five and the last one, narcissists love rigidity. They love rules, they love structure and order, especially when they can impose them on others. They are extreme in their approach. If you make a small mistake, you become ungodly. There is no redemption for you, there is no forgiving, there is no mercy whatsoever. God is like a tyrant to them, sitting on a throne, enabling the narcissist continuously, responding to them, and acting the way this narcissist wants that God to act. So, in a way, it's the narcissist commanding the God they worship to do what they want that entity to do. There is no actual relationship. They may say, "Oh, I'm the servant of God and I'm here to tell you this and that." No, it's not true. They're only here to tell you what they want you to do and what they think is the right thing to do. They justify their rigidity and toxicity on the basis of religious rigidity. If they live a very strict, very authoritarian lifestyle and impose it on you and control your lifestyle and expect you to live the same way, there is no room for you to say no. Because if you do so, then all of a sudden you have defied God, now you are a sinner, and you are going to go to hell for sure. They use the concept of hell and heaven a lot to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do. The irony is, the heaven they keep talking about is nothing but their approval. They want you to seek. They want you to do things that will give them heavenly pleasures, but will be a hell to you. And the hell they talk about is their inconvenience. You have to do it, or otherwise you will displease God. And in reality, they mean to say, you will displease me and then I will punish you. Remember this, no matter how a narcissist looks and what they're wearing, they are not godly at all. They can never be godly. They're everything but anti-God, anti-divine, anti-universe, anti-whatever you believe in. Religion is just one of the many tools in their arsenal they use to manipulate the collective and gaslight them into thinking that they are a nice person when they're not. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it insightful. Please let me know which part did you resonate with the most. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.